Welcome to Draw One Last Breath Horror Podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm Butch.
Welcome to episode 180. We have been to the cinema to watch Until Dawn, and our movie from the vault, which I picked, is Torso. How the devil are you doing, Mr. Butch?
Yeah, I'm representing the pools today. We are minus a pool, only one pool for the podcast. So,
yep. Unfortunately, Mr. Stevens is otherwise engaged. He's got a lot on his plate at the moment. So he's currently building a brand new store. So, we'll let him off. He booked the time off with HR this time, so it's not an AWOL situation.
Yeah, we know where he is. He's not in the Bermuda Triangle. Or maybe he's trapped in a loop, turning into a Wendigo. Who knows, eh?
Or like waking up, putting out stock on shelves, going to sleep, waking up. Sounds like my job. Anyway, how are you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good. This weekend's a special one for one of our mates. He's getting married in June, so we're off to a stag do.
Juggernaut Gerard.
Yeah, we're in the middle of Wales, causing our own horror movie, so that's going to be good fun.
Yeah, what are we thinking? We're thinking the Descent.
The Descent, maybe Shrooms.
Shrooms. I'm not eating no shrooms. What are you on about?
The Ritual. That'd be fucked up.
Oh, The Ritual. That's a good shout. But we're not going to the Netherlands, so we're going to Wales.
I thought it was Scotland for some reason. All right, fine.
Yeah, we're going on a stag do this weekend.
Well, then it's Pontypool.
Pontypool.
You don't remember that fucker?
Yes, I do remember that film. And we'll be jumping off some ledges, hopefully.
Mm. Talking about Gareth Evans.
Yes.
I did watch Havoc. I know it's not horror.
I want to see this. I've heard good things about it. It's not horror, really.
No, but it's...
You love it, don't you? You love it.
I still love it.
It's non-horror stuff.
Fuck it, whatever. It's, one day we'll just bring the genres together. No, it's good, though. It was a really good movie. It's on Netflix. Tom Hardy and just fucking... It's got some absolute...
Tom Hardy fucking...
Absolute horrific scenes. It's more horror than fucking Manhunter, I can tell you that for nothing.
Okay.
But I did watch something. I did watch...
You're still held up on
that. Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. It was a couple of years old. It's about a sort of professor who... It's almost like a bit like being John Malkovich. A professor starts appearing in people's dreams, right? Just randomly, not doing anything, not affecting the dream, just being in the dreams. And it becomes a bit more of a, phenomenon as the movie sort of goes. And there's then there's some other little naughty bits, things that happen in the dream that perhaps he's living out. And I guess it changes with his personality as he goes through it, because he embraces the sort of popularity of it all, and the dreams change. And the dreams become not very nice with him in it. And then they sort of then turn on him. So they were like, what, like, oh my God, he was the most popular person on the planet. And then suddenly he's not, because he's the one that's fucking killing people in the dream. So no one can stand him. And it's sort of a real topsy-turvy sort of thing. And he's just this plain Jane sort of character, Nicolas Cage. It's really fucking, really, really good. It's on Amazon Prime. Worth a watch.
I'll definitely watch that.
Dream Scenario. Yeah, really good, that one. How about you? What have you been up to?
I've not been up to much, mate. I'm just opening my letterbox now because I'm sad like that. I can't even remember what I've been watching.
Thunderbolts!
Go on, you carry on.
No, I was just saying you watched Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Thunderbolts. That's definitely got fucking horror chops in it. There's some really dark things in there.
Deals with some very interesting themes, isn't it?
I do think, I don't know, quote me on this, but I do think it's probably the best Marvel film that's come out since Endgame.
I've seen that quoted a few places. You're not alone.
It was enjoyable, and I like the characters, and they did well in it. I think to build those characters up. Again, it's just, these are not really well-known characters, especially if you haven't seen like some of the shows.
Yeah, some of the TV shows as well.
You don't really need to watch the shows, I suppose, but it does give it more kind of substance when you're watching, I suppose. Yeah, I thought that was really, really good. really good. What about you? Anything else?
No, that's apart from the Bob Dylan biopic, but that doesn't really count, does it?
Oh yeah, that's just dropped on Disney, hasn't it?
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Nice.
yeah, but not really anything else horror. So there we go. Let's just move on to some news then. Plenty going on in the world of horror at the moment, right?
Loads, mate, loads.
New trailer for 28 Years Later. Fantastic.
Yes.
It really does get you going. There's a new trailer when I watched Until Dawn with Jai Courtney. Dangerous Animals.
Yep.
He is a piece of I mean, Jai Courtney's got that look, I think, and he sort of plays looks like he's playing this serial killer that's feeding his victims to sharks out in the water.
Whilst filming it. So he's doing it for like, and I love there's a clip of him with the videos, isn't it, where he's got the victim's hair on it. Like there's one that says like Samantha and it's got the hair on it. And there's like about fucking 50 VHS videos on there. It's just like creepy as fuck. Like, yeah. I'm interested in this one. It don't really give much away, and I hope they don't give too much away going forward, really.
Did look rather cool.
Yeah, it does look good. Have you seen any trailers on Conjuring Last Rites yet?
Oh, did just before the pod, actually. Whet your appetite a little bit. No idea what this last
ride.
The Last Rites. Last Rites?
Yeah, Last Rites, yeah.
This is the one that made them quit, right?
Yeah, apparently so, yeah. The most evil thing they've met along their journey so far.
Interesting.
It looks like they might be reintroducing a few of the old favourites back in as well, so looking interesting. You know, we're a bit of a sucker for the Conjuring universe.
We are indeed.
That looks really, really cool. I'm quite excited for that.
Another trailer that dropped, a film called The Long Walk.
Yeah, mate, the Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first Stephen King that sort of got me really thinking for a while, right?
Yeah, so it's also, isn't it made by the people that done Hunger Games? Like,
yes.
Or something to do with producers or something to do with Hunger Games. But yeah, it looks crazy. I mean, what's the premise? Like, it's almost like a competition, right? Where you've got to walk and be the last one standing, and you have to just walk and walk and walk and walk, and it doesn't finish till the last man's
the endless walk. 100 young people are walking. Young men, it says, have to walk without stopping and are killed if they pause for too long.
Yeah.
So, you're thinking Battle Royale, you're thinking The Hunt, you're thinking Squid Game, But
I'm like, why would you even do that? Why would you even compete in that? It's just crazy, isn't it?
That's what people do these days, all this fucking Mr. Beast stuff that's going on.
Yeah, but you don't kill him.
Well, he doesn't, yet. We've got fucking...
We've
got the Running Man coming on later this year, How far are we away? How far are we away from these sorts of competitions?
From public executions.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We've got public humiliation at the moment.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's just a stone's throw.
I mean, that's been happening for years, isn't it? Big Brother. Britain's Got Talent. It's just like, it's pretty crazy, but... Yeah.
That one's in cinemas from September the 12th, so look out for that one.
That does look good, though, doesn't it? I mean, the cast looks really good in that as well.
Anything else going on?
What I don't know if we've talked about Weapons yet? The trailer for Weapons.
I don't think so.
Looks freaking creepy, mate.
You're going to have to remind me. What's this one?
It's the one about the kids that are in a classroom and they all go missing.
Is that with Julia Garner?
It is, yes.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. It looks creepy as hell.
So it's directed by Zach Gregor, that obviously did Barbarian. So we know he's got horror chops. But you've watched the trailer, right?
Yes.
All the kids, the weirdest thing, like they all run, but their hands are kind of like up a little bit. It's really weird, like they've got like claws or something. They're just running. It's just fucking creepy, and it really did kind of creep me out. But apparently, it's getting good traction. So Josh Brolin.
Bit Babadook, bit Village of the Damned, bit Children of the Corn sort of thing. Yeah, it's good.
And it's interesting because old Benedict Wong pops up in it.
He does.
He's a 20%er. He'll make any film 20% better when he pops up. So that is going to be interesting.
What about Clown in a Cornfield? We got to talk about Friendo.
Yeah, that was a trailer before Until Dawn, right?
That
in the trailers?
Yeah. But it's like, that's a fucking Tubi movie, right? How the fuck is that made it to the cinema?
Wow. It's actually a graphic novel, I believe, or a novel.
Okay.
A novel? I think it's a novel. It's one or the other. But it's quite well known within the horror reading universe. It's done gangbusters. I follow the guy on TikTok, so he's pushing it real hard. But I don't know. I'm kind of there for it a bit. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I am. I am down for Friendo. I've got a friend in Friendo. I just don't know. It just looks like Thanksgiving-y, but again, like I said, it's like, was it the one Funhouse Massacre, which is like a straight to stream. So yeah, why not?
It's either, right, I think it's two ways. It's either going to be paint by numbers, nothing different, kind of like weak. Remember, this is done by the Tucker versus Dale guys.
Yeah.
I mean, how good that is.
Yeah.
So it could be a proper gore fest, which I'm hoping it will be the latter. Okay. It could be that pleasantly surprised movie we go and watch that really kind of surprises us. I mean, they're obviously going for like, let's make a character, let's make a franchise. That's obviously obvious, but I don't think we're going to see any Art the Clown versus Friendo anytime soon yet.
No, we'll see. Okay, so there you go. That's a good couple of bits to look forward to. And that one's in theatres from, I think, tomorrow. I think it's May the 9th. It's out. So by the time this drops, it'll be out. So have a look for that one. Clown in a Cornfield. Great. Any more news? Ridley Scott is currently in production in Italy on The Dog Stars, a post-apocalyptic thriller based on the 2012 novel by Peter Heller. And that's got Jacob Elordi, including Margaret Qualley, Josh Brolin, Guy Pearce, and Benedict Wong, our little 20%er there.
There you go. There he is.
Little post-apocalyptic beaut that's going to be around. I know, like, Fallout Season 2 has just finished production.
It's wrapped currently.
Yeah, so
that's going to be good. I love that first season.
Lots of stuff, mate, to look forward to.
Lots and lots.
Shall we move on to our main review?
Let's do it.
I'm looking for my sister. Does she look familiar to you?
She's gone missing.
I didn't say that. Do a lot of people go missing around here?
Up the road. That's why people get into trouble.
Those were the first people here in years.
Looks like it too.
Weird.
That's my sister's signature. Oh, shit.
Guys, check it out.
What happened to these people?
Where's my car?
Where's Megan?
What the fuck just happened? We all got fucking murdered. And now we're here again.
So the night is just gonna repeat itself.
I don't remember that happening last time.
Please let me out.
Holy shit. Every night, something new is trying to kill us.
What is that?
How many more deaths do you have in you?
Nobody's made it past 13 nights.
If we want to survive, we have to make it until dawn.
What is that? Let's get it now.
I'm just gonna grab it.
Okay.
Don't move.
Yeah. Oh, what? Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
What?
It's still in my face!
This episode's main review is Until Dawn. A group of friends trapped in a time loop where mysterious foes chase and kill them in gruesome ways must survive until dawn to escape it. Based on the title horror game Until Dawn, right?
Correct.
I have not played it. Have you?
I have not, but I've got a friend at work that's advised me about the game and stuff that happens within it.
Okay. And have they watched it?
They haven't. I asked them if they would go and watch it because I'd like to get their opinion. So they may do. But I told them a few bits about what happens.
Okay. I mean, it's not an all-star cast. It's just like they're pretty nobodies at the moment, which is quite interesting.
How dare you?
I quite like that. You know, they haven't really got a massive IMDb, but a few little bits and bobs here and there. So we get 4 friends, effectively. 4 friends and 4 long life friends and 1 sort of hang on boyfriend are sort of chasing down their sister, basically. And they go to this little valley called Glore Valley, which has been at the helm of a mining disaster, to find the sister, basically, who's their mate, who's fucked off and got lost.
Yeah, his sister, a year prior, has gone missing.
Yeah.
Thoughts,
feelings?
Do you know what? I kind of like this film. I didn't absolutely love it, but it had some really good bits and it was interesting and there was enough in it to keep me entertained. What about you?
Going in, we were all sacking it off before we watched it. Silent Hill. I mean, Resident Evil was alright, but but they don't really convert, do they? Doom. I kind of like Doom. I've watched it more than once, I'll admit it. But I'd watch this again. I thought it was like quite fun, quite interesting. It didn't seem that paint by numbers. There was sort of like its own style in a way. You could probably say it as like bit cabin in the woods sort of thing. But genuinely liked it. I mean, the special effects were spot on. Like the use of practical was fantastic. And so they had a really good team like behind them doing this movie. I'd be interested to have a look at who did it. Some of the scenes were fantastic and it sort of flowed. It sagged. There was the usual little bit of sagging in the middle, but not too much. I thought it sort of kept most of the pace going. And the story and the premise was all right. I imagine the game is fucking creepy as hell.
Yeah, I'd like to know somebody who's played the game and watched the film. Just so.
I'm sure we'll speak to Dirty Doig this weekend.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Be interesting to know, really.
But
what the differences are.
Like the way it flowed, okay, so we would do a bit of spoilers here, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll go spoiling.
Yeah, why not? We'll go diving into the spoilers. The 4 friends, who have we got? We got Clover, who's sort of our main protagonist, Max, Nina, Megan, and Abe, who's a bit of a plum. Alright? He's the one. Yeah, and you got Max who fancies Clover, and Nina dating Max, and Megan's just there as, I don't know. The first sort of point of call where it gets to it, and gets stuck in, I suppose, they get fucking offed one by one by this really, really interesting looking demon clown? What the fuck?
I don't know, it's like, he's got a messed up face with a mask, and he's like a typical slasher killer, like just looks just a huge hulking bloke that just literally has really mad strength and just literally kills them all in one foul swoop.
Yeah.
That like didn't even take him very long, did it? It's just like I quite liked the way it just got straight into it.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, you had the severing of a body to start with, and the blood splatter was fantastic. A few off-screen kills, but we got an eye on a bit of wood.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fucking good. And then I was thinking, oh, what kind of movie are we in for?
Yeah, it was good. That was good.
Slasher kill, fucking great. Then we had what? A paranormal one?
So basically, yeah, they whenever they get killed, they just kind of respawn. And let's use game terms. So they respawn. Yeah. They all come back in the same house. So they're isolated in this house. And they'll come back, and then they discover obviously a logbook where other visitors have been. And then there's 13 signatures in the logbook of the same person, but as the signatures go on, they get worse and worse. They're kind of like, the signatures are like all wobbly and stuff by the end of it. And they figure out each one stops at 13. So obviously they think they've got 13 chances of trying to solve what the hell's going on. But yeah, each scenario is slightly different, isn't it? So it's kind of like, you know, they kind of pick their scenarios.
The second one is like a little weird paranormal one where the Megan gets fucking dragged into the toilet and then broken. It's a witch, I suppose. Then Clover gets pulled into a witch, and there's some horrible, close-up stuff. There's a lot of jump scares. They try to get you with a lot of jump scares in this, which is quite interesting. Because you sort of know certain death is around the corner. These guys are going to die over and over again. So that's quite interesting. Favourite moment for me was when they just went, fuck this. And they all just like held up in this like bathroom.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, we're not getting all this shit. Let's just hold up together. They drink the water. And I did not expect this, and I thought this was fantastic. It looked really, really good, and I don't think it was CGI. I think they blew up some dummies. Yeah, and they just it was just unexpected.
Spontaneously combust.
We love that. Why not?
I do believe though that's one of the best bits. I do believe that. I don't think that's in the game.
Really?
Yeah. I think that might have been added to the thing, which I thought was hilarious. Because, one by one, they just explode. And then there's one really good scene where, I can't remember which character, she kind of, her leg kind of blows off.
That's Megan again. Megan gets put through the ringer, mate.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she seems to be getting the worst of everything, really.
Because they wake up different, don't they? They wake up kind of hurt.
Slightly kind of bruised, but not badly. And then they get this weird kind of veins popping out, black veins in their face and stuff, and it's like each time they're slowly getting worse and worse. And I think they kind of figure out, don't they, that the more they do, the closer they're getting to being trapped and then becoming part of the universe, and they'll end up being one of the ghosts or ghouls or
they're calling them Windagos.
Windagos, yeah.
Windagos. And this is where it doesn't lose anything for me, but you kind of, the whole mythos of it, which I'm guessing is maybe more in the game, of this sunken mining town. You don't really get, you got this guy who's sort of, I don't know, not overseeing it, but he's kind of invested in it, and he's kind of like Cabin in the Woods, he's looking over it and doing, working out what the fuck's going on or carrying it on. I don't understand the whole mythos of it. That's the one thing. Did you get anything gathered from the information in the movie that you could understand why or what it was happening?
I think it's kind of an experimentation kind of thing, isn't it? With kind of, because they kind of touch on it manifests in what you see and what it manifests into, and what you go into is your greatest fears and stuff like that. It was kind of like to do with feelings and like where you are in your life and how you're feeling. But
are we saying this is a mining town, right? And it collapsed and sunk into the ground, and then stuff started happening, and it unearthed something?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Like a phenomenon. Maybe.
I don't know if you're supposed to know though. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, I get what you mean because it's kind of like there's one guy that's kind of controlling it, and they can't get out of it, but yet this guy can just waltz in and out whenever he wants, by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Which is weird. But yeah, I'm sure there's probably way more lore about it in the game and stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that I would like to know. Like there was a creepy bit where they tried to escape through the rain, this rain that brought them there, and there's this big fucking monster in the rain. They basically turned around like, nope.
One of my favourite bits, and I really like this bit because it was like, reminded me a bit like VHS and stuff, was they were kind of like, they think that they've like literally got, they've only done certain amounts because they kind of lose their memory a bit. They feel like they've only died a couple of times. But in fact, when they look at one of their phones, they've recorded probably about like eight different situations that they didn't even remember. And it literally does like a montage of kills of different ways they die. And I just thought that was superb, that bit, because it was just really inventive. And there was one bit that was like, again, a huge creepy kind of like creature running down the corridor after them and just literally just wipes them out. But it's very clever because like obviously it goes pixelated and just cuts out before you see anything. And but there was different situations. I thought that was a really, really good call in that bit.
Yeah, I suppose the one thing that didn't really work for me was the sister angle. Like it didn't really go anywhere. There wasn't any need. I suppose that it drew them there, but then it got lost.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, because obviously they find her in there and she's already manifested into kind of like something else, doesn't she? Like in this world, which again, the makeup on her was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I think the different thing with this is that there's 5 of them. So it's kind of cool. They're kind of trying to I like the element of them trying to work out how they're going to get through this. And it's like how they're all going to get through it, because one of them could have been really selfish and just let the others die. Because you could do that. You could let the others die, and just as long as you survived until dawn, you would survive and get away. But I like the element of them trying to keep each other alive.
Well, you've got 4 friends who were doing that, and the other kind of douchebag was at one stage did kind of hint at that, and then they just killed him.
Yeah. That was quite funny. That was quite a good bit.
A little bit of humour in it and stuff like that, and we won't spoil the end, but not a bad.
Won't spoil the end. Here we are.
Well, they all survived.
That's what I liked about it. I kind of liked that, kind of. It's just like, it was kind of like, typical ending would have been they don't survive, or one of them thinks they survive, but then they spin it around, they haven't actually died, they were actually still in the world. That always happens. But with this, it was kind of like they all survived. Oh, wow, cool. Actually, quite a happy ending.
They died if we're doing the maths, there's like 50 plus 50 deaths in this movie. But there was this cabin in the woods sort of esque moment-ish where he's looking at another screen.
Yeah.
So obviously this is happening somewhere else as well, maybe a few places and stuff like that. This phenomenon. Quite interesting. Again, it all boils down to the lore of it, and I'm not sure of the lore. But not bad. I mean, for something that I wasn't really going in with anything.
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad film at all.
I mean, it's about a 7 on 10 for me.
I'm probably more a 6 for me.
Okay.
I'd probably say a 6. I mean, that's that's more than half. So.
Do you think Geordie Paul would hate this? Do you reckon he'd hate it? Is that his cup of tea?
I think he'd definitely find flaws in it. But, he'd probably. I reckon he probably would give it a 5. If I was to gauge the Geordie Paul meter.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Who knows? We'll have to ask him.
He likes to rewrite films.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
But I like the characters. I like the kills. The special effects were cool. It's a brand new idea. It's nowhere near the worst game adaptation of a movie that I've seen.
Yeah, they've done good with this one. But we have got quite a busy fucking May for horror movies as well. Like we're moving on to the next episode, and I think we've got a few.
Spoiled for choice.
Well, it's like we could go for Clown in the Cornfield, or more than likely we'll end up probably going to do Final Destination Bloodlines, I reckon. So
maybe.
Lots to choose from. And 28 years later is around the corner. So good. Lots going on. Lots at the cinema. And I went to the Swindon View to watch this one. And had my own little...
Did you?
Yeah, I went to my little recliner seat. So, I don't know if they all got... Every single screen got a redo. So they all got recliners in.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Enjoyed the experience of it all. So yeah, if you've got a view near you...
The sound is delectable.
Very, very fucking cool. So yes, I'll be doing that again. So yeah, that's probably what we're going to do. Final Destination Bloodlines for next one. Other than that, let's move on to our movie from the vault.
What you see on the screen is not a product of expressionist art. What you have here are fragments of cloth found under the fingernails of one of your companions who was barbarously murdered just 1 week ago. Our scientific analysis leaves no doubt whatsoever. We have traced these fragments to this foulard, which was used to strangle Carol Peterson. Her body was then mutilated in the same manner as Signorina Heineken.
Did you realize I'm the last person who saw Carol alive?
Anyone home?
Hello? Oh, hello, Jane. Can you come over right away? I must talk to you. I received this phone call from the killer, and he threatened to kill me too if I told anyone who it was that I'd seen wearing that scarf.
You will not be acting as a police informer, but as a civic-minded citizen.
Somebody's here?
Because I believe you all want this killer to be brought to justice at once.
Okay, so I picked this episode's movie from the vault, and I picked one that I've always wanted to watch because I've heard good things about it. It's one of Quentin Tarantino's favourite movies, Eli Roth's favourite movies. It's 1973's Torso. So we went to Shudder for this one to watch. When the University of Perugia is rocked by a string of murders committed with a red and black scarf, 4 co-eds retreat to a countryside villa where the killer is closer than they think.
Now this is my type. This is my type of giallo. This is what I thought giallo was all about.
I knew this straight away. As soon as the opening scene opened, I was like, Brooke's gonna love this.
There's a lot to love. A lot to love. And more than just the usual 70s nudity that's paraded all around this movie. Yeah, considering the last one we watched was Opera, which was just fucking incredible. And like, this was kind of along those lines in terms of how nuts this film is. Maybe a bit tempered, I suppose. But yeah, this had some fucking moments in it. I got on with this. The cinematography again, the giallo of it all, the tones, the scenes, the settings, the models that were through this, the
Benny Hill moments.
Benny Hill moments they had. I don't know. This worked for me big time. What about you?
It's not the best one of the lot that I've seen, but I did enjoy watching it because again, with these sort of movies, it's not paint by numbers. It's the same theme obviously, but they're always done differently, which I really like, wacky and stuff like that. It's just like, it's great seeing how wacky they go. It's just like, there's just some crazy scenes. You're like, what the hell is going on here? Like, and there is a lot of boobies in it, as usual. They love to just parade ladies around naked.
Who's the director for this
no
one?
reasons. Sergio Martino.
Okay. He loves his models, doesn't he? I mean, literally, you see scanning the lecture hall, it's like beautiful people, beautiful people, beautiful people, beautiful people, beautiful people.
Yeah.
Cheesy porno opening.
Yeah.
Sex in a Mini Cooper. You know, I thought that was quite awkward.
Yeah, that was weird because like they're getting it on, and then a masked guy turns up, and then they run after him, and you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. This I don't know. The theme of this movie is like all men are pervs, right? Is that the central theme of this movie? Is that all men are dirty, rotten pervs? Because it does not put young Italian men or old Italian men in a good light.
No.
Absolutely. I mean, from the pervy scarf man to the townsfolk of wherever they go.
Pervy scarf man selling knickers as well.
Wow. The thing is about as well is that the women are like so used to it, which I thought was very disturbing. Oh, it's only a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
What? You know, and that's that level of sort of like, oh god, and it sort of really sat in this hippie world. There was one of my favourite scenes in the whole movie I got to talk about is the underground Italian sex hippie club.
Yeah, what was that about? That kind of took me out of it a bit. I was like, what is going on here?
They were playing some. I mean, I just watched A Complete Unknown, so there's a link here. That's why I did mention Bob Dylan at the start. Okay. Is that the music playing in that weird hippie sex club was a version of It's Blowing in the Wind.
Is it?
Yeah, I was like, because the music tone changed completely, and it was all this. They all like some people were getting on. They were weird naked dancing. They were getting off with this Carol chick who's part
booby rubbing,
but you know, it's like my friend is blowing it. If you watch it again, mate, because it's very hard to pick up, but it was there on this weird instrument. It was fucking funny, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. The sort of whole murders worked for me. Murders with staff.
It's kind of like a Who's Done It, with absolutely no police around whatsoever. I thought, oh yeah. I was like, where's the kind of like inspector that's going to come in, or the detective? You know, we're waiting.
Yeah, there was like you said with the police and stuff. It wasn't unlike Blood and Black Lace that we watched, where the detective was like all over it, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of involvement from the police.
But this was, like you said, a whodunit, and it did have, mate. There was an open casting call for who it could have been.
Oh yes.
Who did you kind of start guessing?
Well, it was too obvious to be the guy. What was his name?
Stefano.
Stefano, yeah. God,
the weird, obsessed guy.
That's fallen his name a lot in the film. I reckon if we played a drinking game, we probably would have been smashed by the end of it. The amount of times they've called out Stefano.
If he was going to put a rape in there, it'd be him.
If he's going to call out, he would have called out probably the 20th time you called his name. It's just like...
But his scarf was the wrong way round. It was red on black, not black on red.
And she realised this.
Yes.
Halfway through the film. But yeah. Main guy for me was Bread and Milk guy. The comic relief. Now that was the scene where we're obviously in the plaza bit of where it's shot, which is a beautiful place, by the way. Looked really nice. And it's really weird because there is a Ursula, which is the woman of colour, is in the town. And obviously there's this predominantly white town of Italian people. that haven't really witnessed a young lady of this sort, and they're just a gaze on her. Like the whole plaza is just perving on her while she's sat on a car.
Look at the thighs.
On a tractor. She was on a tractor.
But then her mate gets up and they're like together.
Yeah.
Her and her mate. And she gets up there with a short mini skirt on and gives them a bit of a view as well. And they're like, "Way!" Yeah. And then there's the town special or the town farmer or something like that. They're like,
the town idiot that can't talk.
Yeah. Get up there and get them. You're like, oh, this could be the guy who's killing them all. I don't know. But
they're there to go to the main houses on the hill, right, for a vacation, right?
What a fucking stunning location for it. Really was.
Yeah, it was really nice. They're really nice. So they're off to a mansion up on the hill to have a little getaway and do stuff and just lay around naked in the garden.
Why not?
As you do.
Get perved on. It's only a peeping Tom.
By the bread and milk guy. Who's told you must bring bread and milk every day. Just bread and milk, nothing else. And then this is where I think...
Well, they're on a fast. I think they're fasting.
Oh, are they? Right.
Even though they're fucking, knocking back all the alcohols in the world, but that doesn't count. It's a weird fast.
I don't know. It's weird. But, so we've got how many is it? Four friends? Is it 4 friends?
4 friends up there, yeah.
Friends. And then, randomly, one of them falls down the stairs and breaks her ankle, pretty much.
And the doctor has to come.
Storyline, I suppose. Storyline, she can't hardly walk. Brilliant. Okay. And this is where it kind of took a turn, and I was like, oh, this is interesting now. It changes from being a standard kind of slasher, like giallo film, to being a bit of a kind of like almost cat and mouse, but where a prisoner kind of turn on it. And I love this kind of turn that now the killer shows up, she's upstairs in her bed asleep. He doesn't realise she's up there. And he's literally murdered all 3 of the girls, right?
Yeah, sad times.
Yeah. And she obviously wakes up, comes downstairs and finds them all dead. But then she hears him coming back. So she runs and hides, and this is where he comes in with a fucking hacksaw. Just starts hacking them up.
Yeah, and, she has to witness it all. And it becomes quite harrowing, really. Bottle of JB spotted in that scene.
Oh, was it?
Did you not spot it?
No, I didn't see it. I was looking now. I was looking everywhere.
Bottle of JB was down there. But yeah,
I should have worn my Giallo t-shirt for today. I totally forgot I was going to wear it.
It was fucking bit of cat and mouse, and she was like doing the...
I liked it because they give it loads of storyline. It's like she breaks her ankle, so that's the reason why she's upstairs. Cool. Secondly, they explain why there's bars all across the windows, because when they were not there, a lot of people broke in and trashed the place. So she's now locked into this, place with bars on the windows and she can't get out.
Yeah. And the killer's
She's not
there.
stupid either, is she? Because obviously she moves all her stuff from her room and hides it all, so it looks like no one's there apart from them.
So he fucking chops them all up. He's killed Stefano. He's chopped up the 3 girls, dug everything out. He's sorted this killer. He's crossed his I's, dotted his T's. Fucks off back into the plaza. Then he's walking past a group of young idiots who go on about the girls up there. They were talking about, there's 4 pairs of tits and 4 asses and all this sort of stuff. Bit of bravado going on. And then the killer's like, 4 pairs of tits? I've only so she's got away scot-free until he realises that there's one more up there, and he's realised that he's missed one. So he's popping back up there to sort it out. At the same time, right, this was really confusing me, and you have to explain this. So did the doctor get back? The doctor saw the light, and he was going up in his Beetle, in his VW, and he was going back, at the help, but he found everything locked up, didn't he?
Well, no, I don't think that was the doctor, was it? I think that was the guy that cleaned her car. you remember she had her car cleaned and sorted, and he was delivering the car back, but she wasn't there when he knocked on the door.
I thought the doctor guy was going up there, but he didn't seem to make it. He got his car crashed into.
Sorry.
But he didn't make it that far until he realised that she said that no one had collected the car, so he buggered off back up there to help her be the knight in shining armour.
Not to mention, we didn't even cover just way before this, the village idiot that can't talk. It gets hunted. He's having a little shifty, looking through the window at him, having a bit of fun. Then he gets caught, doesn't he, by the murderer, and then he's run after. And that was an interesting one, because he obviously can't speak, so he's trying to scream, and he just can't.
Runs off with a big old boner.
His trousers around his ankles. That was weird.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so then we get to the final kind of crescendo of the movie.
Well, I thought there was a couple of bits here.
Go on.
One was obviously we get the reveal. It's the professor. And I was like, okay, that's cool. The reasoning behind it was fantastic. It all worked, sort of tied in. It's like, right, so I'm fucked up because my brother launched himself off the side of a fucking cliff.
Right, foul.
He launched himself.
That was clearly a dummy.
It was so brilliant. But yeah, and then he's had an orgy with two of the girls at the start. That was the cheesy porno scene, and he can have sex with them properly.
Yeah.
Which they alluded to with Stefano right at one stage, because he got a hooker at one stage. We haven't mentioned that bit, and he ends up not being able to do anything properly and ends up punching the hooker in the face. So it gives us another reason to suspect him. But yeah, and he's like, right, so these two had to go. So I killed her and I killed her. But then, matey girl, she saw something, so I had to off her, and the two girls were here, so I thought, why not just off them? And now you're the last bit of the puzzle. And then there's the best fight scene ever. It's a long fight scene with kicks and flying drop kicks and all sorts of stuff. These guys could fight for a professor and a doctor.
It was a very strange ending. I felt the fight is kind of off. Like, the fight was so elaborate and big.
Yeah.
So there's knives involved. There's fucking like big massive wooden wheels being thrown, and it was really cool. And then you're kind of like, oh, is that it? One of them's killed off screen. And then you think, oh, which one is it? And then it's the reveal that it was the good one that survived. So the killer gets killed. But then you know straight away, because the old jovial music comes on, like,
so I think you can see why Eli Roth and Quentin love this movie, because there's weird, wacky martial arts. The deaths are so batshit. The music and quality sort of works, and there's this really funny running theme.
And there are some beautiful shots, though. There are some really, really good camera angles and shots, and I know Geordie Paul would be wetting his pants over all that. So, more camera shots, more red wine.
Oh, when she went up the stairs and he turned around with the stairs. Oh, that was really good.
Sorry, Paul.
Should have been here.
He can't defend himself.
It's fucking great. So yeah, go on, give us some Matt's facts. Hit us with some Matt's facts.
Do you know what? I really dug for some, and there's not a hell of a lot, believe it or not. But during the production, none of the cast were told who the killer was, and because of the high amount of red herrings in the film, many of the actresses were convinced it was someone else doing all the murders. I would have gone for Bread and Milk Guy, but there you go. An alternative ending was shot, with the killer surviving at the end. That'd be interesting to watch if that was out there. Quentin Tarantino showed this print of the film at the 1999 QT Fest. His fellow filmmaker Eli Roth has cited the film as among his favourite giallo and an influence on Grindhouse 2007 and Hostel Part 2, which you can definitely see in Hostel Part 2.
100%. Yeah.
And the number of victims in this film is 9.
Nice little count there, mate.
One thing that we didn't mention, I think it deserves a little bit of a tip of the hat. Pervy scarf selling guy is in cahoots with the professor, obviously, and he's like, I will tell him who bought the scarf off me if you don't give me the money. And the way he's off is pretty brutal. So he's run over by a car, and that head smash was gross, man.
Yeah. I mean, some of the special effects that we didn't really engage into in terms of the murders and stuff, they do cut away into these bodies and, you know, they do their best with the 70s prosthetics and stuff like that. But you have these, you know, and I guess that's part of it, is that they did what they did with it, and these all...
They did what they had with what they could do with it. Which was hats off, man. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
And you can totally see that in Hostel. Like, that, especially that scene. You know.
You know this.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. You know, it's different. It's always good to watch things, and they are always different, which is good.
Yeah. I really got on with this one. I thought it was really fucking cool. The right level of perviness for me. Yeah.
I don't think so.
So what you rate? What would you put a number on this one?
I'd probably give this 7 out of 10 for me, I'd say.
Yeah, it's going for an 8 for me.
Ooh.
One of my fave Jallos I've watched so far.
One of those dirty, shameless yellow covers, this one.
Worked for me. Because it had a good story.
It was good. It kept you on your toes, and it was different. It kind of done that thing where it's like, it could be straight down the line, just slasher. No, changed halfway, completely different story.
Yeah.
Built up the characters, good kills, bit of comedy value in there. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Good times.
Good times.
So, Mr. Butcher, I believe it's your turn.
Yes, it is.
What you put in the vault? Come on.
I don't know where you can watch it.
Oh shit, that's a good start.
I haven't checked.
Thoroughly researched, good.
But I don't care. I mean, if you don't own it, you're gonna have to get it. We're gonna watch Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Ooh, nice one. A zombie flick.
I haven't picked a zombie movie for a while, I don't think.
Oh, good.
Fuck it. Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Seen it a very long time ago though, so it'd be good to revisit.
Same. There's a few synonymous scenes in there that I remember. It's a Fulci, so you know there's going to be some eye shit in there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to revisiting this one. It's been a while.
Let's do it.
Got an old DVD somewhere of it, so it's whether I'm sure it's sitting on Arrow. Or Shudder. I'm sure Paul could find this bad boy. Good luck, Mr. Stevens. Right, okay, cool. So there we go. That brings us to the end of another episode 180. 180.
180.
Didn't play that joke. Yeah, thanks very much for listening for all these 180 episodes. If you continue listening and you tell your friends about this, we might have some very special news coming soon. So watch this space. But moving on to episode 181, we'll be going back to cinema, loads at the cinema to watch Final Destination Bloodlines with some to scream about Black Mirrors are back with Mr. Stevens being back. And then I just pulled from the vault Zombie Flesh Eaters. And with that, there's only one thing to say. When there's no more room in hell, here's another podcast.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
You can follow us on Twitter @DrawOneLast, Instagram @DrawOneLastBreath, or pop us an email at drawnelastbreathpod@hotmail.com.